Marvel and DC has always had this rivalry for years, both in the comics, be it animation, and somehow in the live action. But since when the MCU started, there have been this gap when it comes to quality and just overall good projects that the MCU has had that has straight up just outmatched everything DC has ever made when it comes to live action. And now that the DCU is dead after years of flops, missed opportunities, and confusing creative decisions, it's finally been laid to rest for all its downfalls. They tried to rush what Marvel spent years building. They wanted the glory, the fandom, and of course that sweet Marvel money without the patience or the planning. But now something new is happening. There's an entire reboot happening in DC right now. And what if I told you this time it might actually work? That this reboot under James Gunn's direction could be DC's best shot at finally surpassing the MCU. All he has to do is play his cards right. James Gunn, the man who made people actually care about a tree and a raccoon, the same guy who turned the D-list characters like Peacemaker and Bloodsport into fan favorites. Yeah, that is James Gunn. DC's entire cinematic fate is now in the hands of a guy who thrives in weird and the unexpected. And ironically, that might be exactly what the DC universe needs right now. I think it isn't anything new that Marvel, for all its glory, is starting to look a little bit shaky. Phase 4 and beyond have been kinda meh. Too many projects, too many characters, and a serious case of the multiverse. Don't get me wrong, the MCU still has its gems. We did get some good movies and good projects from all of this, which we enjoyed nonetheless, but the novelty is wearing off. We are getting to a point where people are more hyped for cameos than the actual plot, whether it be casting big names for their projects or having to go as far as bring back old cast just to bring back hype. And these are characters who are already done with the MCU. Now, I'm not saying all of these are bad, but you know, sometimes it feels like this is all what we have to depend on to enjoy something good for Marvel. James Gunn, on the other hand, is starting fresh. A full reset. He's not just making movies, but trying to build a universe with structure, tone, and actual vision. And the best part, he understands characters deeply. That's one thing everyone can agree about James Gunn's movies. He knows how to balance humor with emotion, chaos with meaning. His version of Superman, for what we have seen and what we have been hearing, is that he's trying to bring the true nature of Superman to the big screen. It's this reimagined take that actually feels grounded, relatable, and dare I say fun. And speaking of fun, this is something the DCEU has been allergic to over the years. Even when they tried doing it, it felt forced and stretched out, and anyone could notice all they were trying to do was replicate that MCU source, since the original dark and gritty idea didn't go so well. Gunn gets that. He brings color, music, weirdness, and heart to the table, which could be the key to finally giving DC a unique identity instead of just a darker Marvel or just straight up being confused. One thing that's really unique about his take on characters and movies in general is that Gunn is not afraid to take risks. He made a giant starfish the villain in the Suicide Squad, and it worked. Imagine what he could do with characters that actually has lore and legacy behind them, like Reverse Flash, Brainiac, Darkseid, the Joker, and every other person. And he's not just directing, he's the creative head, the president of the entire DC universe. He's pulling the strings, mapping out roadmap, and hopefully keeping things consistent. Something DC has sorely been lacking over the years, which had made them keep falling behind Marvel. Meanwhile, Marvel's biggest issue right now is their saturation. With every show and movie tied to a dozen other things, the casual fans are feeling kind of overwhelmed. It's like you have to study before watching a film, which wasn't always the case with Marvel back in the day. All you had to do was watch a few big, strong movies and the payoff will be there. When Marvel let success get to their head, they started cooking way too much, and that has quickly burned through their creativity. DC has an edge now. Under Gunn, they have the chance to simplify things, to make movies that stand on their own but still connect, to actually earn the big moments that could pay off for bigger projects fans would actually love. Seeing as Marvel has played a big majority of their cards with giving us big projects like the Avengers and certain iconic comic book based movies, and we never got any from the DCEU, that actually stuck because they didn't even know what they were doing in the first place. Except to consider the Flash movie a good adaptation of the Flashpoint paradox, I don't know what to say about you. And let's not ignore the casting potential. Although the universe is just starting, the cast for characters has been well received. Well, I can't speak for all the Snyder fans, but I think the majority of DC fans do. Of course, it won't be easy. Gunn's DCU will be under a lot of pressure. Every move he makes will be compared to Marvel. Some fans will never forgive them for replacing Henry Cavill.
To this day!
Others will scoff no matter how good the project is. But that's the double-edged sword of dealing with iconic characters. Everyone definitely has their own opinion. Still, if anyone can navigate that, it's definitely James Gunn. He's proven time and again that he can make the ridiculous work, that he can turn skeptics into believers, and right now the DC universe doesn't need to beat Marvel at its own game. It needs to change the game entirely. Make superhero movies weird again, make them heartfelt, make them matter, show a different dynamic on heroes Marvel never did. And with the MCU probably aiming for a reboot in a few years to come, there will be actual competition between them, and no one completely outclassing the other. So can James Gunn DCU finally beat the MCU? Honestly, yeah, it's 100% possible, but not by copying Marvel, but by being everything Marvel currently isn't, by not forgetting that superheroes at their best are meant to inspire and entertain. But hey, that's just me rambling. But do you think Gunn's DCU stands a chance against Marvel, or is it just wishful thinking? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there, smash the like button, hit the subscribe, maybe even turn on the notifications. Trust me, it'll mean a lot, and plus you can stay updated on new videos. Anyway, that's it for me on this one. Until next time, I'm out.